Hello everyone, welcome back. So before we go over to the best of 3, I just wanted to introduce you to this enchantment deck from Theros Beyond Death. It's one of my oldest decks and it makes so much fun to play with. I really love the set Theros, I love the Greek mythology, I like the creatures, I like the whole world. So yeah, I was going to play with that and I will just explain you the strategy of this deck. So as you can see, it's almost everything about enchantments, enchantment auras. So here we have Hateful Eidolon. It's one of the most important cards in this deck. It costs only 1 mana, and whenever an enchanted creature dies, draw a card for each aura you controlled that was attached to it. And as you can imagine, we have a lot of those enchantment auras. For example, here, Mire's Grasp. Enchanted creature gets -3/-3, so when this creature dies from the opponent, we will draw a card. Then we have also Starlit Mantle, so we can also protect our creatures. Then we have Medomai's Prophecy, so we can also scry, we can also draw cards. And then we have also Protean Thaumaturge. It has also something to do with enchantments, because whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield, you may have this creature become a copy of another target creature, except it has this ability. So for example, we have this creature, we cast an enchantment, then we can also transform it from an maybe into an Hateful Eidolon, or maybe what else do we have here? I mean, we can also choose opponent's creatures. Yeah, so that's it. Then we have, for example, other enchantment auras, Inevitable, and at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice a creature. That's a great card. We can attach it to a very powerful creature from the opponent, and then they have to sacrifice it. So what else do we have here? We have enchantment aura, minions return, flash. When an enchanted creature dies, return that card to the battlefield under your control, for example. Also, this is a creature we have here, Nadir Kraken, so we can produce a lot of those tentacles. And Nadir Kraken, if we spend 1 mana, we can also put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, and then we will just produce a lot of tokens. Then we have also some removal cards, Drag to the Underworld, reduces the cost for it, depends on the devotion to black. Then we have Nightmare Shepherd, is also a good card. A good creature that protects our creatures, because, for example, if the opponent is going to kill Hateful Eidolon or maybe Nadir Kraken, we can just bring a copy of that creature back on the battlefield. A very funny card is also Atris, Oracle of Half-Truths, because I don't know why, opponents are never reading the ability of this card, and then we can also draw 3 cards. Actually, four cards. The opponent has to separate. Wait, when Atris enters, target opponent looks at the top 3 cards of your library and separates them into a face-down pile and a face-up pile. Exactly, yes. Put 1 pile into your hand and the other one into your graveyard. Yeah, but the funny thing is the opponents are never reading it, and they are just creating 1 pile with all the cards. So yeah, we can also draw cards with that. And this one, Ashiok, one of my all-time favorite planeswalkers. It's so powerful because for +1 for the loyalty counter, we create a 2/3 blue and black nightmare creature token with whenever this token attacks or blocks, each opponent exiles the top 2 cards of their library. For -3, return target non-permanent to its owner's hand, then this player exiles a card from their hand. And the last one is you may cast up to 3 spells from among face-up cards your opponents own from exile without paying their mana cost. It's so powerful, and it's actually pretty easy to get 7 loyalty counters or even more. And the last one, I mean, actually this is the reason I created back then this deck, because I was so fascinated by this card, Kiora Best, the Sea God. I mean, just look at the Kraken, 8/8 and hexproof, and yeah, that was the reason why I had to create this deck. And those abilities from this card are just incredible. Create an 8/8 blue Kraken creature token with hexproof. The next one is tap all non-permanent target opponent controls. They don't untap during their controller's next untap step. So I mean, actually here when we get to the second saga, I mean the opponent should be already dead, because then we can attack with all the creatures, and yeah, the opponent's creatures are all tapped. And the last one is gain control of target permanent and opponent controls untap it. But mostly if we reach Saga 2, the opponent is mostly dead. And then we have also, yeah, Temple of the Seed, so we can scry, but that's actually, this is the strategy of this. Ah yeah, we have one more creature, Ephemia. That's also a very cool card because it's a flying creature. At the beginning of your end step, you may exile an enchantment card from a graveyard. If you do, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. I mean, we can create a zombie army here because all the creatures here, also a Hateful Eidolon is an enchantment creature. Then also, no, the Kraken not, but the Nightmare Shepherd is an enchantment creature. Also, then we have tons of enchantments. Enchantment Saga, Enchantment Aura, here also Enchantment Aura. Enchantment Aura, where we can also transform the opponent's creature into a blue fish with base power and toughness 0/1. So yeah, so I would say we will play some games with that. So we are playing against Albert, we are both in gold rank, and by the way, I just finished the lizard deck and I must say it's so fantastic, it's so great. I really love to play with this deck because it's so straightforward and each lizard is so unique and contributes to this game, and it doesn't matter which lizard is currently on the battlefield, they work so well together. And yeah, let's see. We have, that's a good hand, although we have 3 copies of the Thaumaturge, but I mean, we can just transform it. Once we have the Eidolon, for example, we can also transform it and then we'll draw cards, or we will just target opponent's creature. So let's see. And I must say, Bloombor is one of my favorite sets. All the fractions are so unique. We have so many great fractions like the rabbits, the bats, the otter, and also the lizard, of course. And I'm so excited to create. Actually, I really want to play with each fraction. And currently I also published a bullet. There you can also decide what kind of deck do you want to see next. You can decide either it's the bat deck, the lizard deck, or the, I think it's the otter deck, because those are the decks I have the most cards. And I think there's a tie right now between the lizard deck and the bat deck, so you can decide. And yeah, as I said, currently I'm just playing with the lizard deck, and yeah, it's such a fun deck. Perfect. So here we have the Hateful Eidolon, and we can also transform it. We can actually also choose from the opponent this creature Nalia, the Arnis. I have only seen this card in the commander deck. I think it's also a commander card. So maybe we can also put another copy. I think we'll just protect it with Starlit Mantle. Also Arvot has Death Touch and Lifelink. So let's see what our opponent is going to cast. Oh, Luminarch Aspirant, so they can distribute some +1/+1 counters. Can be very difficult if once the Arvot has a lot of counters. Soul Warden, okay, Nalia. That might be an interesting deck here. We see Knights, Soldiers, Clerics. So now the Death Touch creature has 2/2, and they are going to attack with Nalia the Arnis. Okay, with those 2 creatures. So let's enchant one Hateful Eidolon. We can sacrifice it also, or first we can transform it so we can also block. I think it's better to get rid of this card because they can also look at the top of their library, and then they can also draw cards. So I think we'll just trade. Oh, great. Myers Grasp. Ah, okay, Arvad already has 4/4, unfortunately. But in this case, we will just cast another Thaumaturge and we'll just get rid of this Aspirant. Because they can still put some counters on Arvad, and then we need the removal card to get rid of this. Oh, here we have Drag to the Underworld, great. Next turn we can also kill Arvad. Now we'll just get some life points back, down to 19. Arvad, yeah. Yeah, back then I was thinking to purchase one of those decks, commander decks from Baldur's Gate. Kaya, Geist Hunter, Light of Hope, okay. So now it's a 5/5 creature. Creatures you control gain death touch until end of turn, put a +1/+1 counter on map. Okay.
I can teach you a thing or two.
Yeah, 5 damage to us, that's fine. Oh, now we also have the inevitable end, so I think we can just attach it to Arvad. And let's see if they are going to sacrifice first the Soul Warden and then Arvad. Let's see. Yeah, we'll just stick to the Hateful Eidolon because card drawing is always the best thing here in Magic. So it's 4 damage. We would kill Kaya here. Great, they are also blocking with... No, they are not. Yeah, they do. So Kaya survives, but they have to sacrifice Arvad now. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice a creature. Great, we are going to draw 3 cards. The first one is, yeah, this name, I cannot pronounce it. Ichthyomorphosis, yeah. Then we have a swamp and, yeah, and another inevitable land. Kaya's Wrath. We are still drawing cards. Soul Warden. Yeah, we can also... Yeah, I think we'll just put first the swamp on the battlefield, then we can also transform it, but with the Harpy we can also create some zombies. We'll just exile the enchantment cards from our graveyard and then we'll create a zombie token with 2/2. So let's do that. We'll just exile Starlit Mantle. Yeah, very cool deck. Vampire of the Dire Moon. It's a human rogue. Okay, legendary creature. So until end of turn, if one or more tokens would be created. Ah, okay.
Just how I showed you.
They're always pumping up Kaya. Now it has 4 loyalty counters. At least Aphemia has flying, so we can also attack with it and no one will block this creature. Drag to the Underworld. Yeah, I think we have to waste it for the Vampire with Death Touch. And then let's attack. We have to kill Kaya. But you can see this advantage. I mean, we have so many cards and 4/7 lands. Next turn we can also cast Kiora Bests the Sea God. And once this enchantment is on the battlefield, I mean, we will get a 8/8 hexproof Kraken. And then it's actually over. If they are not going to wipe out the whole battlefield, they are dead. Kaya, Someone is here. Yeah, I think our opponent is a Kaya fan. Exile target, null and permanent with mana value, so we can protect the Hateful Eidolon. So I think, yeah, we'll go for Kiora Best Sea God. And look at this creature, hexproof, 8/8 Kraken. Unfortunately, the token depiction is very small. It should be much bigger. But yeah, it looks so great. I also have this deck in paper. And always when I'm playing against my friends, and yeah, once this creature is on the battlefield, oh, everyone is screaming, oh no, this creature again. It has hexproof, that's fantastic. Then we tap all the creatures from the opponent. Yeah, I think we can just put everything on the battlefield. Let's attack. Bam, bam, that's a lot of damage. They are not untapping here. So let's see, maybe another Kaya Planeswalker. Kaya Orzhov. I mean, I really like this deck. It's something new I didn't play against. So yeah, GG. So yeah, actually it's a very good deck, very strong. We both have the same avatar. Actually, they should use also Kaya as an avatar. Hopefully we'll also draw Ashiok so we can also put it on the battlefield and then maybe create some Nightmare tokens. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we have to be careful because the opponent also has some cards, I bet, where they can just wipe out the whole battlefield. So we have to be careful not to put all the creatures on the battlefield. So this time our opponent starts the game. Opponent goes first. Yeah, I mean, we will keep that. Although we don't have the island here. But with 3 swamps you can just use Mirror's Grasp, also direct to the Underworld. But here we have the Temple of Deceit. I mean, if I look at this, it always reminds me of the Temple of Knossos on Krita. I was there, by the way, a couple months ago, and I just wanted to see also the Temple of Knossos, because, yeah, I was really interested in history and also in Greek mythology, and this Temple of Knossos was built actually more than 3,000 years ago. It was 1,800 before Christ, and it was huge for that time. It was so huge, and later on it was just destroyed by earthquakes, also volcano eruptions. So yeah, let's focus back on the game here. So our opponent played the Soul Warden. I think, yeah, I think we can just wait. Let's wait, see what the opponent is going to cast. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Oath of Kaya. I mean, this deck is amazing because it doesn't only have Kaya as a planeswalker, but also as a legendary enchantment. Oath of Kaya, great. I like the theme of this deck. Yeah, we just need some creatures. That's the problem. At the beginning, so it's always good to have either the Hateful Eidolon, because then we can draw cards, or even the Thaumaturge, or maybe the Harpy. So then we can at least create some zombie tokens. Yeah, this creature has hexproof. So it's 1 damage. Actually, we can also use Drag to the Underworld and kill Memory of Toshiro. Wow, this other creature, Elenda, Saint of Dusk, Lifelink, Menace, and yeah, now nothing. Yeah, I was thinking if I should use also Myers Grasp to get rid of Elenda, Saint of Dusk, but yeah, I was expecting that. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't take the risk. I should have done that. Also use Myers Grasp, so GG, that was my fault. Yeah, I should have expected that the opponent also has some counter spells for that, to protect their creatures. But anyway, GG. So now we have a final. Great, we start the game here. Yeah, we will take that. We can cast Atris, Oracle of Half-Truths. Let's see if our opponent is going to give us 4 cards. Temple of Deceit, Myers Grasp, great. Of course, we'll take this card, and yeah, Atris, unfortunately it's 4 mana. If it would be great if it just would cost 3 mana, but at least we can also draw at least 2 cards, yes. Authority of the Consuls. So hopefully we'll also draw Kiora Best Sea God, because now we have how many lands? 4, 5, 6. We just need another one. Atris, Oracle of Half-Truths. I mean, maybe they're just lazy and they will not read what they have to do here. Yeah, they have to create 2 piles of cards. They have to separate those into equal... Actually, no, they don't have to be equal, yeah. Yeah, okay, so we will get 3 cards. And we can discard the Temple of Deceit. Gift of Fangs, they are killing Atris. But here we have another copy of Kaya, deals 3 damage to any target, you gain 3 life points. And let's see if they are going to do the same mistake, because I mean it's an advantage for us. Yeah, I think we'll just enchant this creature. Oh, we don't have any enchantments in our graveyard yet. That's very unusual. But we'll change that, of course. And I think, I mean, Myers Grasp, we don't have to use it on Indulging Patrician. Destroy target creature or enchantment, so they didn't even use that for their own creature. They could save it. So it seems it's not that important for them. Atris. Okay, we'll take it, of course. So here we can just cast the Human Wizard. I mean, this creature always reminds me, because we are speaking about Greek mythology, like about it could be like Archimedes or Socrates, for example. Yeah, it's one of my all-time favorite sets by far. Also, I really like to play with Kaldheim, Theros Beyond Death, what else? Throne of Eldraine, yeah, I also uploaded recently a video about my adventure deck. Vito, Throne of the Duskrose, I mean, back then it was also one of the most played cards in MTG. I really like the combination also between the Nightmare Shepherd and the Thaumaturge. So we can also... because the Shepherd is not a legendary. I don't know why it's not a legendary creature, because it's also... I mean, it's a flying creature, 4 mana. Actually, for a flying creature, pretty cheap. And this ability is also great, because for those... For example, in this case, we can also sacrifice Atris, and then it returns back as a token on the battlefield, and so it will be activated again, the ability. So decline. Ah, yeah, also we can, for example, if we are going to play another enchantment, we can also transform the wizard into another Kraken, so we will have 2 Krakens. Let's see if the opponent allows us, or they will just quit the game here. Island, tap all. Yeah, I think it's over, but hopefully they will not do anything right now. Yeah, we'll just transform it. Yeah, we have 2 Krakens! GG! What an amazing game! GG! I love that. I mean, when we have more than 1 Kraken, I mean, look at those creatures. 8/8 with hexproof. Of course, hexproof doesn't count for us, so we can also target our own creature. I mean, those abilities, or those yeah, sagas are so powerful. And I really like the deck from the opponent. So yeah, the Kaya deck. So GG, and yeah, please subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and also you can always write some yeah, recommendations, feedback, or wishes. And if you like the format, I'm just creating decks from one certain set and I play with those decks. So yeah, please subscribe, leave a like, and see you next time. Bye bye.